Good day, YouTube. Today's content is for all the gamers looking to make their own YouTube video from PlayStation. Case in point, you have an epic gameplay and you want to share it with all of your followers. A belief is widely held that in order to get your videos and content online, you have to use Share Factory. Well, that would be true if you didn't have a laptop, but when you do, you want more options and you want more functionality. So, quick disclaimer, I've invested a lot of personal time and effort to bring you this video. I believe everyone should have an equal ability to access free content and afforded the knowledge to use it. All I ask is that if you find the material useful and contributes to taking your epic gameplay, whatever game that may be, to the YouTube arena, you share this video with your friends and others who may equally make use of this tutorial. I've gone ahead and listed the requirements in the description below. It's going to seem like a lot at first, especially if you've already learned a procedure that works with Share Factory. I hope this walkthrough gives you enough to start your journey. In any case, let's get started. So I've included my share settings here so you'll have an idea of what your settings should be too. To start, we'll need to access your media. Go to Settings, Storage, System Storage, Capture Gallery, All folder, and find the media you want to share. Press Options on your controller, then choose Trim. You can scroll through the timeline using 10-second intervals to find your start and end point, but it's a rough guess. So when you find your start point, change your interval to 1 second, designate your start point with L2, then go to the end point and designate it with R2, and press OK. When prompted to save as a new video clip or overwrite, decide if you want the original media in its entirety versus creating a new video with only your trim. Save as a new video clip and wait for the trim to complete. Once finished, press your Options button again. Choose Copy to USB Storage. Now we will create a smaller trim of our new video for our thumbnail. Choose the new video, click Options, Trim. Find a satisfactory start and end point within 1 second of each other and click OK. Save as a new video clip. Once done, press the Options key and then copy to USB storage. Unplug your USB thumb drive from your PS4 and plug it into your PC. Transfer the two new files into your project's media folder. Now with your project's media folder open, find your thumbnail clip, right-click on it, open with VLC Media Player. Find the point that you want to use as your thumbnail within the timeline, double-click the center of VLC for full screen mode, then press the print screen button on your keyboard. Close out VLC and open Gimp. Create a new document, click File, New. Enter the dimensions 1920 by 1080 and make sure you are in landscape mode. Paste your print screen capture into the new document with Control V. Select the text type tool, the black A, then left click on the canvas and start typing your thumbnail title. Type something that reflects your video title. The closer your text is to that title, the better off you'll be. Make sure you enlarge your text to take up about 90% of the space inside. Next, hold the Alt key around your border of your text. This will allow you to drag the text. Center your text box in the middle of the canvas. Select your text and find the bold button underneath the font drop-down menu. Then click on the color and find yourself a contrasting color against your thumbnail. Something that will make it stick out. right-click on the text layer on the right side and duplicate your text layer. Select the original text layer, change the color to black. Then, while holding the Alt key, drag the layer on the canvas diagonally down and right, and you've just created a 2D representation of a. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and choose a value between 30 and 50. Now you've created a drop shadow. Select the first text layer, right-click on it, then select Alpha to Selection. This will put a marquee over your text. Go to Edit and Stroke Selection, make the line width between 2 to 4 pixels, and click Stroke. Once this is all done, go to File, Export As, or click Shift plus Control plus E and export your new thumbnail as a JPEG. Make sure you save the .jpeg into the folder which contains all your assets. Name it thumbnail.jpg. If you do not include the .jpeg at the end, you will not be able to save your file. Click Export. Then close Gimp. Click Discard Changes, then close Gimp again. Open Lightworks. Create a new project and give it a name. Make sure frame rate is set to auto. Click Create and start dragging in your assets. That's going to be your epic video, and if you have an intro and outro, those as well. Double-click your intro and find the replacement to target sequence under the mini video player of your intro. You've now placed your intro into your project timeline. Find your epic video and double-click. You will now only insert the parts of your epic video that you really like into your project timeline. To do this, grab the red ticker under the mini video and find your insert point. You can use the left and right arrow on your keyboard to nudge one frame at a time left or right through the timeline. Once you've found it, click the left blue diamond or the I button, then grab the red ticker again and scroll through the timeline until you found the second point of the video where you will insert up to, and click the right blue diamond or O. Then click the last icon, insert into target sequence, or press V. Now, click the middle empty diamond or press P to clear out your in and out marks. Click the left blue diamond to insert an in mark or press I. Click the jump forwards to the next cube button represented by a right arrow and an up and down line. Then click the right blue diamond to insert an out mark or press O. Click the insert into target sequence or press V. Finally, double click your outro video and click the insert into the target sequence or press the V key. Your timeline now contains the events you want. You can zoom in and out of your timeline by clicking the magnifying glasses top left of your main project timeline. Right-click the first selection of your video, track V1, and click Speed. Click the Speed drop-down and select 400%, then click Do It. Apply the same method of altering the speed to the first selections of both Audio 1 and Audio 2. Drag the red ticker on your main project to the beginning of your project and click Spacebar to play your video. Zoom into your project timeline a little and go to where the intro ends and your video begins. On the top, click the Audio tab. Here, we'll adjust the levels of our video's audio after creating a few segment boxes on each side of the intro and video. Slide the segment box on the video all the way down to mute the track. Zoom out, go to the start of the video, right-click in the area where it says V1, A1, A2, hover over track, then click Add Audio. Click the V1, A2, and A3 tracks to mute them and make sure A1 is not muted. The blue microphone under the video window lets us create voiceovers. Make sure after clicking it, the device contains your correct microphone and track is set to A1 and the pre-roll is set to 3. Click Record and start recording your commentary. Once done, click End or press Spacebar. You can now listen to your commentary and make edits. To drag your clip, make sure you are in the Edit tab. Cut off any empty space by marking the areas with the blue diamonds, mark in and mark out, then clicking the Remove the Marked Section button or press Z. Turn your layers back on, go to the start of your video and zoom in. Right-click on the start of V1 and select Transitions, Dissolve. Make sure you have 30 frames and from here selected. Right-click on the segment on the end of V1 and we are going to add a dissolve transition, but in order to do so, change the position to here. Then hover over Add and select Dissolve. Select the dissolve transition with your left mouse button and drag it over both the intro and the video to center it. Now we are going to fade in our audio. Go to the start of the video, zoom in, hold the shift button over the audio tracks, and left click drag towards the right the slider for 30 frames. Do the same thing for the end of the intro. Also do the same thing for the beginning part of the video. Make sure on your commentary you don't fade in or out too much. You'll cut off too much of your own voice. Now we're going to add a dissolve transition to the segmented area between your sped up video and your non-sped up video. Click on the VFX tab up top, select the 10 frames before the segment, and create an in marker. Do the same thing for the 10 frames after the segment. Create an out marker. Right-click on the video frame and under the effects option, hover over Add and choose Dissolve. In the settings area on the left of the window, you'll see that you can adjust the keyframes option. Select the middle of the keyframe selection and under the amount in the filter, drag to the right to 100%. In the keyframe section below, drag the slider all the way to the right, then change the amount to 0%. Test the effect to make sure it works as prescribed. Now we are going to create a dissolve effect at the end of our video. Create an out marker 15 frames into your outro video section, then create an in marker 15 frames before your outro video section. Click your VFX tabs, right-click on the track, select Effects, add Dissolve. Make sure you adjust the keyframes just like we did previously, then check your work. Now, fade our video and outro audio sections in and out accordingly. Do the same thing for the end of your video. Also, create a transition for the end of our video and test your work. Now, go to the transition we created in the middle of our video, click on the VFX tab, create an in marker just after the dissolve transition, move in 30 frames, and create an out marker. Right-click the track, select Add Titles. Enter your text and adjust your position, create a shadow, and under the Effects tab, click Fade In and Fade Out, and choose a value that best suits your needs. Now we're going to add our audio to the project. The easiest way to do it, go to google.com and type in royalty-free music. Sometimes I'll use bensound.com. For this example, click the bensound.com link and sample the first audio track they list by clicking the play button. After you are satisfied and found a track to your liking, click the download link. a side note, if you're going to use these royalty-free tracks, make sure you appropriately credit the author by including the website in your description section when you upload. Otherwise, buy the music and not have to credit the author. Save the media to your assets folder. Go back to your project in Lightworks and go to the right of the Project Contents tab, click Local Files. Find your media and click the Import button on the bottom left. Now, we'll need room for this new audio since audio in Lightworks takes up 2 tracks to accommodate mono mode music. Right-click on the left by V1 and add 2 audio tracks. Now, trim and fade your audio appropriately. Make sure before trimming you hide the other layers so as to not inadvertently trim the other tracks. If you choose the replace option as opposed to the insert option, it'll leave your track in place. Before you start fading, it's a very good idea to group audio tracks 1 and 2 together. We could have also done the same for audio tracks 4 and 5 earlier. It helps when fading one track, it'll automatically fade the second track as well. I've reduced the overall audio peak to ensure that it isn't too loud. Test out your video. Make sure you also edit the ends of your audio track accordingly. Most professional music already fades out, so you only have to add a fade or crossover when your music abruptly ends. Go to your Edit tab, drag your music track over, make sure you unhide your other layers so that the jump forward to the next cue button works. Now test your work.
Yeah. Damn. Thinking you're so close, yo. There you go. He got off! Oh no! Fuck yeah.
That is sick, man!
Yeah.
This is for my love. I've come a long way to follow.
This part is very important. If you notice there's empty space at the end of your track, you'll want to zoom in enough to see it. Then, right-click on it and close gaps. Not doing so will result in a longer video with black space at the end. Now I'm going to show you how to export. Make sure you right-click on the project viewer, choose Export, click YouTube. Your frame rate settings should be 59.94, size 720p, region whole sequence. Now you can enter your YouTube credentials and upload it directly from the app, but I highly recommend you don't. Under the destination settings, find the folder where your video will be exported to, name your new video something, and click Start. The easiest way to achieve nothing in YouTube and watch all your hard work flounder is to not understand or follow the basic principles of YouTube search engine optimization. I've seen a lot of my fellow YouTubers not get the attention they deserve because they don't employ the basics. You'll want to make sure that you create and publish longer videos. Choose your keywords appropriately. Say your keywords from your title in your video, because YouTube employs metabots. Keep a clean title, good looking thumbnail, and make sure you enter in your description. You basically want to look professional if you want to be perceived as professional, and keep your audience engaged. If you've made it this far and you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you now know how to create your own YouTube video for free. Please share this video with others so that they can also employ the tools you learned here. Remember to like and subscribe.
This is for my love.